I can still hear their laughter, shrill, cutting, echoing down the hotel corridor. My wrists ached where the rough nylon rope dug into my skin, and my ankles stung from the same binding. They had tied me to the bed like it was all some twisted prank. My wallet, passport, and phone were already gone. As the door slammed shut, my wife, my own wife, leaned back in with a smirk. "Good luck, babe," she said. And then she was gone. I was stranded, 900 miles from home. No money. No identification. No friends in that city. Just the constant hum of the air vent above me and the faint sound of a car engine fading into the night. We had been married 4 years. I thought we were strong. We had shared laughter, built a life together, and I trusted her completely. I even convinced myself her sister's behavior was harmless. Their jokes always went too far, but she brushed them off. "They're just playing around. Lighten up," she'd say. Looking back, I see what I ignored, the cracks. She always sided with them, even when they embarrassed me in front of her family. I was the outsider at my own dinner table, and I mistook my silence for strength. In truth, I had simply learned to accept disrespect. That night in the hotel wasn't random. Later, I found out it had been a bet. One sister challenged the others to see how much I could take before I broke. My wife volunteered. She thought she knew my limits. She miscalculated. I freed myself by sawing the rope against the edge of the metal bed frame. Barefoot, humiliated, I walked to the lobby. No shoes, no money, no ID, just shame clinging to me. It took 2 days before I could convince the police I wasn't some vagrant. Another 3 before my embassy issued temporary papers. By then, my wife had vanished. No calls, no messages. When I finally made it back home, she had already emptied our apartment. Half my clothes, a few pieces of furniture, and my dignity, all gone. I didn't chase after her. Not then. I let her believe she had erased me. 7 years is a long time to vanish. It's also just enough time to sharpen yourself into something dangerous. I started small, with information. Quietly, from a distance, I tracked her life. She remarried a man named Curtis, a real estate developer. I studied his business, his debts, his weaknesses. I learned her routines, her passwords, her address. She had 2 children, but they weren't his. I knew that before Curtis did. The father was a coworker she had been sleeping with before her wedding. I gathered everything: photos, bank records, timelines, transfers. Year by year, I built not an investment portfolio, but a collection of leverage. My patience grew colder, sharper. When the time came, it wasn't noisy. It was surgical. Curtis was hosting a charity gala. Wealthy guests, reporters, cameras. I slipped in through the service entrance, listed as part of the catering staff. Black suit, clean shave, no trace of the man once tied to a bed. She was on stage, flashing that polished politician's wife smile. At first, she didn't recognize me. But then our eyes met. Her hand froze mid-gesture, her lips tightened, and the color drained from her face. I didn't smile. I only tilted my head toward the tall man standing just behind me, Curtis's lawyer. The lawyer carried an envelope. Inside, DNA test results, photographs, affidavits. Curtis opened it mid-speech. The room fell silent as he read. Then he looked at her. Not with anger, yet, but with calculation. The kind of calculation that ends marriages and drains accounts overnight. And that was only the beginning. While she scrambled to contain Curtis's rage, her sisters began receiving packages. Each one contained a copy of a police report, retroactively filed under my name, about that night in the hotel. Witness statements from the staff included. Employers, neighbors, and even spouses received copies too. Their lives began unraveling in parallel. One sister lost her job within a week. Another's husband filed for divorce. The youngest was arrested on fraud charges I had been holding for years, waiting for the right moment. Curtis threw her out that same night. No car, no money. Just one suitcase left on the driveway of their mansion while paparazzi circled. She called me. I let the phone ring. Then I sent her a single message. Good luck, babe. The second time I saw her was a month later. Different city. Different clothes. Same hollow eyes. She approached me outside a coffee shop, trying to sound casual. You did this, she said. Her voice shook, not with anger, but with the realization that I had been a shadow in her life for 7 years. I didn't deny it. I simply stepped aside, revealing the man behind me, her father. The man she hadn't spoken to in over a decade after stealing from his retirement fund. He had seen the evidence. He knew everything now. She opened her mouth, but no words came. Her father said nothing either. He just looked at her like she was a stranger, then turned and walked away. That was the last time she saw me. I didn't dismantle her out of rage. Rage is clumsy. I took her apart because she mistook my silence for weakness. Because she laughed while I lay tied to a bed, stripped of everything, treated like a joke. 7 years ago, I had nothing. Now, I have peace. And she has nothing. We're even.